Hey, why go on what y'all deal with? We are full into spring and summer is about to start creeping up on us. Y'all better have y'all summer bodies together. All the hot girls and hot boys, y'all better have it together because summer is going to hit you in the head. And then you're going to be out here. You better get it together. Okay, hit the gym. Hey, listen. What we going to talk about? Am I going to talk about Kanye and his cousin? Yeah, no.
Not today, Satan.
We're not talking about that today. Everything going on with Kanye is always crazy, and I'm not paying it not a lick of mind, okay? But I do want to give everybody an update as it relates to the Karmelo case because there's been a couple of other pieces of information that came out. I know some people are saying now that it is no longer being said that it is a knife that he had, but they're saying that he had a cleat sharpener, which actually would change the whole game if that's actually true, because that would mean that he wasn't on school grounds with a weapon, but something that is legally allowed for them to have, especially at a track meet. So that would change the whole game if that is actually true, but we're still waiting on confirmation of that to see if that's actually the case. As it relates right now, he is still out on house arrest and his mother has made a statement. Check this out.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. We will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent. There's an active investigation. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
They said that Austin's father showed up to that and he had to be escorted out.
Tensions deepening between 2 Texas families, torn apart by a deadly high school track meet stabbing, now playing out in public view. Jeff Metcalf, the father of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, who was killed earlier this month, crashing a news conference on Thursday, held with the family of his alleged killer, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony. Metcalf, wearing dark sunglasses, escorted away by police.
As this case unfolds, I'm sure there will be more and more information, but really right now we're waiting on a lot of the confirmations because a lot of stuff is being said, still smoking hot on social media because people are talking about it a lot. Speaking of stuff that people are talking about it a lot, Tracee Ellis has been on everybody's tongues right now because she was making a statement on Michelle Obama's show with her brother, and it includes talks of men around her age, which she is around her late 40s, and saying that she can't find a man around her age because they are all steeped and drenched in toxic masculinity.
I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. Mm-hmm. Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous? But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
She then goes on to talk about why it is that she prefers her a little young whippersnapper, okay? And she was saying that younger men have more gender fluidity, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. So I have a problem with terms like toxic masculinity, right? Because you hear that a lot more than you would hear somebody say toxic femininity. You usually don't hear that. But I think when people say toxic masculinity, it's a way to describe the things that they personally don't like, that the men that they've encountered do. And that's the issue that I have with it. It's subjective. It's not fact. It's so easy to just say, I don't know, the man that I'm around, he has his feet out all the time. He never cuts his toenails because he feels like he don't have to really pay attention to his feet. That's toxic masculinity. No, it isn't. It's just something you don't like and you care very much about. Now, the thing is that a lot of women do agree on these terms, and then they say, well, because we all agree on it, then we agree that it's toxic masculinity. At the end of the day, somebody not cutting their toenails is not a toxic trait. Might be lazy.
See, that's a big misconception. People don't know.
Might be, somebody who don't really care, but toxic, that's going a little far. So I think as it relates to saying men around that age are displaying toxic masculinity, I think it's a way to marginalize and say, that's just what I don't like. And I think if it's that, then you need to say that rather than saying that a lot of these things are toxic. Because I think the age range that she's talking about, those are a lot of the times the men who might have been like, we don't necessarily share our emotions. We don't cry because the world doesn't care about our emotions, which in a lot of cases is true. The world does not give empathy and sympathy to masculine emotions. The world does not in general care if you are sad or upset, because if you display it, if you display your anger at a situation and the cops is around you, go into jail. So the whole thing is that a lot of men have had to hold in their emotions. And I don't think necessarily that's toxic. I think that's survival. And I think that we have to begin to redefine a lot of these things, because otherwise we'll be looking at whole generations of men and just being like, those men just was toxic. Based on our standards today, based on what I feel right now, that was toxic as hell. Yeah, but you're not considering the things that they may have had to go through in order for them to be able to survive. They may have had to shut off their feelings and emotions because their family had to eat. So I think that to judge it as toxic is one of those things that may even be a toxic trait in and of itself. I mean, judgment. I mean, come on now. But as far as younger men being more gender fluid, like what the hell? Let's unpack that. I guess what she's saying is that, like, as it relates to younger men, they don't necessarily conform to traditional gender roles and stuff like that. I hope that's what she means, because gender fluid actually kind of means something else, but at the end of the day, I really think that we would have to look at an older woman only wanting to date younger men as kind of funny. Women don't generally tend to look for younger men unless they know that they want somebody that they don't have to conform to. They want to have somebody that they don't ever have to listen to. They want to have somebody that they can be the boss of. And, if that's your zhuzh, then go ahead. But, I mean, I don't know. People were not taking her statements very well. And everybody was like, well, boo, if you got to figure it out, where your man at? Uh-oh. And I've also spoken to some men about it. And I found this to be an interesting research, because how men feel about that particular topic is that a lot of things that people talk about and they say is toxic masculinity, they don't even really consider masculinity, or they wouldn't consider a part of manhood. If somebody just get mad and pop off and do a whole bunch of stuff and can't control their emotions, to them, that's not manhood. You know what I'm saying? So I would consider toxic masculinity as a term we have to kind of relook and maybe even just call it toxic, because these are not traits that are just masculine or, only men do. Because also, we definitely know women can pop off and not have control of their emotions and get mad and destroy shit and all of that too. So, an interesting thing to look at, but I just wanted to hop on here and talk about that. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about everything that I talked about on here today and didn't talk about, because I'm not talking about Kanye. Go ahead and leave my social media information right here like I always do, so that you guys can go ahead and tell me what y'all think. I want y'all to check out all the other posts and things that I have on those pages and let me know what y'all think about those too. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put my YouTube information right here as well. So Also, y'all can go ahead and subscribe to my channel and check out all the other videos that I have on there. And also be privy anytime that I do post another video. But in the meantime, in between time,